How y'all doing? Um, I'm the father of Tyrone Davis Jr. My name Tyrone Davis Sr. I'm seeking justice for my son. I'm not coming on here to provoke no violence. I'm not coming on here to ask for no handouts. All I want is just answers to what happened to my son. The only reason I'm coming on here is just to set the record straight, because there's a lot of stuff that's being put out, which I don't have no problem with. But when it comes to playing on my name, my family's name, and I feel like this is something that had to be addressed. Um, Waiting for some more people to come on the line. I was there on 12/29, December, December 29, 25, when my son was pronounced dead. There's only two ways you can be pronounced dead in the state of Florida. That's if your heart stopped or if you failed the brain scan test. A brain scan test was performed. Me, my mother, and my sister was in the room at the time. They pronounced him dead, and I will let you hear that. And it was asked, they told us that they were going to keep him on the breathing machine until the rest of the family comes to visit. Mom wasn't there. No one was there. It was just me and my family when he passed. I'm finna let y'all hear from the medical examiners. I'm not finna keep releasing everything that I have, but I did the homework. We went to Gainesville. We did everything we had to do. That's the reason that the ball is rolling. I was notified of my son's death almost 24 hours later. Not by mom, not by girlfriend. Like I said, I'm not on here to provoke no violence, but I want the world to know that we're seeking justice for Dro. We're not grieving for rewards. I'm going to play this here so you can hear from your...
So the autopsy is complete. The cause and manner is still pending at this time. Typically when it is pending, it's usually because we are awaiting additional information. To give you an estimate, it can take anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks for it to be unpended after all the information has been received.
Okay, so meaning that the report is done?
No, the report is not done yet. Because the cause and manner of death is still pending, we are awaiting additional information at this time.
What does that mean? Cause of manner of death?
Yes, what will be listed on the death certificate as the cause of death, that is pending. So that means we're awaiting additional information. So the autopsy report is not complete. The autopsy is complete. That is the examination that we performed. That has been completed, and which is why he was able to be transported out of our care and into the funeral home. But our report with the cause and manner of death is not complete because we are awaiting additional information.
And can you verify the death date for me?
You said 12/29/2025.
Yes, and that's what you have on your report for the death certificate, right?
Correct.
Okay, and question, is it pending because of the investigation that's going
on? No, we're just awaiting additional information. I do not have specifics, but that could be lab results, medical records, information, from law enforcement, if law enforcement was involved. I don't get specifics, unfortunately, but typically all of that plays a role in us getting a determined cause and manner of death.
Okay, is there any way we can get this expedited due to the severity of the case, or is it
Unfortunately, we are unable to expedite anything, especially if labs are involved. That is, we don't have an in-house lab, so that would be separate from us. and it is machines that conducts those labs, so we would be unable to expedite that, unfortunately.
Okay, no, not expedite. You can take your time.
Okay, so like I said, to set the record straight, that's my son. It's the hardest thing I ever dealt with in my life. You know, I'm not here to promote no violence. I did the homework. You know, everything that's going on with this case, I did the homework. You know, I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm not finna sit here and keep on repeating myself to prove to nothing in the world. All I'm asking for is answers to what belongs to me. And that's answers to what happened to Dro. Ain't no way my son go from I love you, baby, you my everything, to laid out in a bridge, under a bridge in the middle of the road with no answers. I wasn't contacted. Once again, everything that you see is going on, I respect the genocide. I have been reaching out to them. The platform that we had for us, the candlelight visual, we did that. The songs, we did that. I'm not trying to make it a this or that situation. I'm just hoping that I can get some answers to what happened to what belongs to me. I can't stop social media, you know, from the clickbaits and putting whatever they put out, you know, for views. This is not about no click or no like. This is my son, a real human being. I'm a grieving father. I'm not a social media person. But when it comes to the business part, trust me, it's been done. It's been taken care of. It's not about no T-shirts. It's not about all the other stuff you hear. And I'm not going to go on because it's an investigation. But when I say I have audio, video, I have reports. I went to the cabin. I'm the one, man, my team got the ball rolling. It would have been written off as an accident if we wouldn't have went 6 cars deep to Gainesville, Florida. There's a lot of things I can't discuss at this time, but stay tuned because it will be televised. Like I said, all I'm asking for y'all is just if you know some, you see some, you know, share it. If you can't contact my family, contact Gainesville Police Department. You know, like I said, we ain't ask for nothing. We ain't ask for nothing but answers. You know, and for us, the business part of it, my son had a policy. So if you hear any GoFundMe's, he's not no GoFundMe dude if you know Dro. He ain't no GoFundMe dude. We won't need we ain't asking for none of that. So if you hear anything about help or we need to pay bills and all that, I'm gonna leave that right there. You know? And like we do everything else, I don't understand why the cards that I was dealt didn't have no faces on it. But, you know, when you covered in the blood of Jesus, you know, nature gonna nature itself. And once again, I'm signing off from this here live stuff because it's not me. But I want the world to know I was there when my son passed away. You heard it from the medical examiner. All this December 30th, that was the time frame that they left him on the machine after they gave him a time of death. And you heard it. You can rewind the live after you finish it. You know, the time of death was the 29th. They kept him on the machine all the way up until the 30th. When the 30th came, you know, the rest of the family made it back up there or whatever. And however that happened for them to pronounce and say the 30th, that's on them. But you heard it from the facts from the examiner, not from me. I'm a grieving father right now. And I stand behind, you know what I'm saying, any voice, not only Tasha, any voice that's promoting justice for my son. It's the hardest shit I ever went through in my life. Excuse my language, but I'm hurting. You know, I have to walk in the spirit right now. Cause the flesh ain't able to deal with what's going on. You know, and I'm gonna ask everybody for y'all prayers. That's all we want. You know, if you got any information, you know, share it. You ain't got any, share it to me. You know, I ain't promoting no violence towards the genders or nobody. All I want is answers. And like I said, I'm a quote unquote. Me, my mama, and my sister was in that room, and you just heard it from the medical examiner at time of death. How you getting the date of the 30th is because they gave the family time to get there, to see him. Time of taking the ventilator off, it rolled into the 30th. For as anything else, I'm not coming back on here due to the investigation, but you will find out. exactly, you know what I'm saying, the things and the processes as the investigation goes on. I don't have no bad feelings or hard feelings, cold feelings towards nobody, you know, because I'm just seeking justice. Everything I'm pushing to the death of me is going to be justice for Dro. Either you're with us or you're against us. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I'm running off Psalms 91 and Psalms 23. If you know me, you know me. My family, when it comes down to, you know, what we believe in, we will go the extra mile. And we've been going the extra mile. We went to Gainesville, 6 cars deep. We did what we had to do. We went to the cabins and so on and so on. I'm just not going to get into so much details. But trust me, just like I proved this message from the medical examiner, everything else will come out in due time. I want to thank all y'all, you know, for sharing all the love that came out to the candlelight. You know, we got other things going on, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We owe him that, you know, and that's all I got to say. Justice for Dro. That was my son, just as well as their son. He the world's son. All y'all love and support from all over the world, that mean the world to me. And that's my motivation. That's my will. That's my drive to keep on pushing for justice for Dro. And once again, quote unquote, it's not no charity case. It's not grieving for rewards. You know, we ain't asking for no handouts. We ain't asking for no help. We want answers and prayers. And if you can't respect that, then you can't be human. Because at the end of the day, as a parent, put yourself in our shoes. I want answers. That's all I got to say.